The biggest stars. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The biggest names in music.
Oh, wow.
Big names, big songs, big guests, big prizes.
Well, it's a big show. Okay.
The Big Show.
Put your hands together for the one and only
Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean.
That's what I'm talking about.
OneFM 91.3. Good times, greatest hits.
Good morning, Singapore. Welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It is a Thursday, and every Thursday we have with us the CEO and founder at careeragility.org, Adrian Chu. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Glenn. Good morning, gang, and good morning, Singapore and the rest of the world. How's everyone doing on this dark, wet morning, actually?
Yeah.
We are doing fantastic, actually, because, after such a hot day yesterday, I was praying for snow today. And of course, yeah, you pray for snow, you get heavy rain, you see.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
good enough.
all right.
Good enough.
That
good
is
enough.
good. That is good.
Okay,
Weather is
Adrian,
great here in Sydney, by the way.
your weather is heating up. Yeah, thanks, Angel. It really makes
You're
us
welcome.
feel
Wait,
good.
hold on. It's heating up, but it's perfect. It's like, 21 degrees over there in Sydney,
it's
Australia?
25 right now. It's 25
Oh,
right now.
wow.
That's
Wow,
the maximum
envy.
it will get. Yeah, it will, but it will be clear skies all the way. So great beach day today. Good to get out.
Yeah.
Take out your bikini, Angel.
Yeah. Is that a personal request, Glenn?
Okay, so
Okay,
Oops,
back to the
awkward.
show.
yeah, very,
Awkward.
very.
She said she was going to the beach.
Yeah. No, bikinis
that-
are out. It's like
Oh,
it's
wait.
one pieces in.
Oh, one piece. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right,
one
sorry
piece.
about that.
Yeah.
Cousins, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Adrian, companies
stop poking
are
at
companies are hiring. Many people have accepted new job offers. But really, there are some things that you just shouldn't do when you join a company, right? That's like walk through the door and the first thing you do is walk up to the boss and go, "Boss, where would you like to have lunch today?"
What's wrong with that? Yeah, why cannot? What's wrong with that?
I don't know. I don't know whether that's the first thing you want to do when you walk through the door is suck out the boss in front of everybody else.
Sucking up one FD.
Everyone's so sensitive now. Do you
Yeah.
agree, Adrian? Everyone is so sensitive these days.
People are, unfortunately, and especially as a new hire, you're coming on board, you tend to get a bit of suspicion around you. Is this guy here going to steal my job? Is he going to make changes? Is he going to fit in? Is he going to steal my promotion? So there are lots of things, lots of questions surrounding every new hire. And joining a new company there's always a risk. And the biggest risk, which we always try to avoid or try to minimize, is what we call organ rejection.
Okay.
And we call it we affectionately call it organ rejection because sometimes you put a new kidney in or a new liver in, and then the body just after a while just rejects it, and all the immune system starts to attack it, and then you got to throw it away and get a new liver in, right? So sometimes when you join a new company, sometimes that happens as well. If you don't integrate well or if you don't fit in, then suddenly everyone starts thinking that, hey, we don't like this guy here. What can we do to get rid of him? Or what can we do to make life hard for him? So today we're talking about the 5 things that we can do to try to minimize the organ rejection. 5 things that you shouldn't do when you first join a job.
Okay, so what would these things be?
And these are based on horror stories, which I've actually seen and heard. It's terrible. So one of the first things we always tell people to avoid doing is to behave badly at work. When you first join a company, you want to leave a very nice, good, happy impression, positive impression, so people will have a good idea of what you are, who you are, what you can do. One of the first things that you shouldn't do is, come late. Because it might be for your previous company, they did not hold any 9 to 5 type of rule. You can walk in anytime you want. You can saunter in at about 10 o'clock, 11:30. But if the company is one where 8:45 everyone comes in and sits in, and then they start having breakfast together or start prepping, you want to observe the norms, you want to observe the culture, you want to observe the habits. So you don't want to come in and make your own rules. So observe what people are doing. Don't behave badly, even though you think the behavior is okay in your previous company. So don't take long lunches if it's not the habit there to take long lunches. Don't arrive late. One of the things I've seen happen was within the first month, the individual starts taking MCs. And not MCs I mean, if you're unwell, you want to go back home if you're a runny nose, those are fine. But I know of this director, heard of this director who joined the organization. And within the first 2 or 3 weeks, she was so deluged with so much work that she took a 3-day MC and she told everyone that it's for to manage my stress.
Oh wow.
And the message
a
she's sending
wellness
out is that,
MC.
yeah, wellness MC. And to me,
Wellness
and to everyone in the
MC.
organization, it's like, what, you're not handling the stress and not fitting in well. Wow, wait till you see when it's peak period, what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
behave yourself well. Take care of your image, and don't send the wrong signals in the organization.
Okay. All right. We are speaking to Adrian
Okay.
Chu, CEO and founder at careeragility.org. We'll continue this conversation on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Snap. Rhythm is a dancer on The Big Show. 1FM 91.3.
So, Adrian, you said that we should follow the norms, but we're new to this company. We've gone through HR and we've done the interview. We've got the job. Chances are we won't know what these norms are.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I think Adrian is saying that, when we go in there, we need to behave properly. Just be a bit more serious, get a feel of what the company is like, get to know some people without being irritating the way you were irritating in your last company. And then maybe in a month or whatever, then you can relax a little bit. Right, Adrian?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, just go observe. Be a good boy. Be a little altar boy when you go in. Be clean and clean, white. Just observe the rules. Don't rock the boat. I know this guy who was brought in as a top salesperson, as a rainmaker, and within the first week, in fact, on the third day itself, he started walking around without shoes.
Huh?
Because at his previous company, he could walk around without shoes. So he took off his shoes and started walking around in his socks. And it wasn't the culture in the new company, and they
go down
found it
well.
amusing. And I don't think it was not pissing people off, but it's just in a way he was trying to assert his individuality. But I think week 1, week 2 is a bit early to do that unless you're really supremely confident of your own of your own chops. You see, so don't be too special. Don't stand out. I don't know. FD, have you seen any of your new hires behaving weirdly or different?
No, they do tend to follow the rules for about 11 hours.
11 hours.
No, but I do want to talk about this. This
Like I always say, you need to stay in a company for about 6 years before you walk around the place
Without your shoes?
bare feet. Like this.
Yeah.
Like this.
Oh,
there you go. That was a surprise. I didn't see that coming.
No, but I don't understand this. I have never understood this. This idea of coming to work and taking your shoes off.
Wait.
We're different.
Comfortable lah.
No, but even here.
Oh,
no,
no,
let me explain. I understand the ladies. You're in high heels. It's damn uncomfortable. I do. I understand completely. But you never know when a client is going to walk in. You never know when a member of the board of directors is going to walk in. You never know. So if you can't take high heels all day, don't wear them.
Yeah, most of them have like slippers under their desk
and then
stuff like
they
that.
put slippers on and they walk around the office. And remember, I just imagine if the owner or you don't know that the CEO has flown in from New York and you're walking around in your slippers.
Hold on.
Okay, I have something to say about
Angel.
that. I
Let
have something
Angel
to say
speak.
about that. Okay, yeah, because I come from a woman's perspective.
Yeah.
So wearing high heels are very, very uncomfortable. In fact, I've
True.
moved on to wearing sneakers, but my job is very different from an office job, right? I get changing to slippers, but if you're gonna get up from your desk, you put your heels back on.
Yes, I'm with
You're
Angel.
working. Because you're working. If you want to go out for lunch, you take your slippers along with you and you change into your slippers outside of the office. Because what's the point of looking nice on the MRT when
Yeah.
you're so uncomfortable, but then in the office you're wearing your slippers? I mean, it doesn't make
Exactly.
sense. Who
Because
are the
MRT
heels
got
for? Are the
potential
heels for
dates.
public? No. So the heels are not for the public, though. The heels are for your work. So you wear like I go hosting. I put my slippers on in the cab, in the Grab, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
before I step out of the taxi, I put my heels on and walk into the hotel lobby or the conference hall or whatever it is.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's
So
a
I
woman
don't
right
put my
there.
slippers there. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, you're doing it for the work, not for public.
Yeah.
That part I don't get. That part I don't get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're walking around
and
the
some
office
people
with
and some women ask, the question in the office, why don't people take me seriously? And they're actually wearing like their fluffy bunny
Yes.
slippers, right? Why is no one taking me seriously? And then it's just like the two fluffy bunnies or two panda shoes. It's like,
Oh my goodness! But
that's why.
you know what? I'm going to digress. I think Singaporeans have an issue with footwear. I've seen so many people at restaurants kick their shoes off and their slippers off.
Oh, that's terrible.
No.
This happens at coffee shops. Even at coffee shops, you shouldn't do it.
No.
At restaurants, I've seen people fold their legs onto the chairs.
Terrible.
At cafes and all that. I don't get it. What's wrong with
Angel,
like, why would
Angel.
you-
How about
Yes.
Angel? How about aeroplanes?
Oh,
you-
yeah, I don't
picking
like
up your
that
shoes?
too.
So aeroplanes, yes, you can take your shoes off on aeroplanes, but you put them back on before you go to the bathroom because your feet do swell on airplanes.
Yeah.
Like I do take my shoes off, but I keep my socks on.
Yeah, I've seen
You know,
people
obviously you don't
do
you don't
that.
want your
They
bare feet
Yeah.
on
keep
there.
their socks on and then they put their feet
Go
up
to the bath.
Oh,
on the
what's-
board.
yeah.
It's like, forget it.
Yes, I've
Just
seen that.
leave your
Yes.
feet down,
Leave your feet down,
Yeah.
but you can take your shoes off. That's
Yes.
perfectly
Yeah.
normal. Your
Agreed.
feet do swell.
Agreed.
Hey, can I
That's
just
fine,
clarify
yeah.
something? I raised my feet and I
Yes.
told you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
I'm walking bare feet and all that, right?
Yeah.
The only reason I'm doing it, I don't do this every
Yeah,
day.
no.
It's because I'm
No.
this new pair of shoes that I got, right? They're giving me blisters, lah.
Oh,
So I've got
that's
blisters
bad.
on both heels right now. That's why I took my shoes off. So yeah.
Can take
Okay,
MC.
okay.
You need a
'Cause
pair of
I'm,
slippers.
I'm
You're
not
almost like a
for
woman.
people taking their what do you call? Shoes off. Anyway, okay,
Okay, let's go back to the topic at hand.
yeah.
Bad behavior. Okay, no, wait, I want
or
to say
at foot.
something.
Yeah.
Or at foot. There you go. Adrian, earlier you were talking about behaving badly in the office when you first start, and then take a month or whatever to get to know the culture and all that. Wouldn't it be wiser to first find out before you even step in on day one what the culture is? How long are lunch hours? Is it okay if I do this? What time do you want me at work and stuff like that? Because you're coming into a new job, right? Shouldn't you find out all the rules
Yeah.
before you start?
Yeah, I think it's good if you can find out, but there are going to be certain rules and certain behaviors and cultures and habits which you will find out in due course. So
Yeah.
and they're not going to judge you on day one if you take a bit longer lunch or what. But it's they're going to cut you some slack. But the last thing you want to do is go there and assume things and go in late for meetings. And if everyone's all very very formally dressed and you go in because your previous company was a .com, was a startup, you go there with your t-shirts and your Bermudas and your slippers, and then or worse, you bring your pet to work or something like that. So don't presume, don't make assumptions. Lay low in the first week or two just to understand, and the company will cut you slack, but don't make a big show out of it. And after that, don't just make sure you don't behave badly at work itself. And sometimes it's cultural. You join if you're from an American company, you join a Japanese type company, then once again the cultural norms shift. So you got to be mindful of all those as well.
Okay.
You need to
Okay.
adapt.
Yeah. What about people who come in and they're full of confidence?
Too confident, overconfident.
Yeah, it can be misread sometimes.
Okay,
It-
have you
it-
asked that question back on air
Okay,
again?
okay.
You do want to
Misread
fix
as
that?
arrogance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
1FM 91.3 traffic.
Alrighty, let's take a look at the traffic. You've got the usual delays across the expressways. PIE towards Changi, an accident at... hang on, that just updated all by itself. Let's start again, shall we? The KJE towards the PIE, a vehicle broken down before the PIE Tuas exit. TPE towards the SLE, vehicle broken down after Tampines Avenue 7. Jurong West Avenue 2 towards Corporation Road, we have an accident after the PIE. Avoid the left lane. Please stay within the speed limit. Make sure you've got everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
1FM 91.3, it's The Big Show with Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean. Angel, of course, is coming to us live from Sydney, Australia. The hardest working... DJ
Yeah.
here in Singapore, I have to say.
Holiday, no.
She could be on leave right now,
I
on
know.
holiday,
And she's working.
basking under the sun at Bondi Beach in a bikini, but she's on the show
One piece.
today.
One piece.
One piece. Sorry,
I apologize.
sorry about
Yes,
that.
yes.
But we thank you, Angel, for for being on the show.
Awesome for the
Because
dedication.
as I said,
It's like I feel like my day is not getting off on the right foot if I don't see your faces. So I need to come in
and you know
There you
when
go. Nice.
when Angel is not around, right, on the Big Show TV, it's very obvious because there's a black square right there.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Friday, are you going to be on the show? Tomorrow, are you going to be on
I
the
don't
show?
know. I haven't decided
know.
yet. Can I let you know tomorrow morning?
Please come here because tomorrow is Friday. If I see a black square there, it reminds me of Good Friday.
Black Friday.
Oh,
So, Adrian, I was
Okay, I'll
mentioning
come
this thing of people coming into an office. They're new. They're charged for a new job. They're full of passion and enthusiasm. And sometimes that can be misread. You can come across as a smart aleck, like I know everything kind of person. How do we temper that?
And I think it's okay if you're coming in and you're full of energy, full of passion, full of positivity. I think that's a great signal to send out on day one when you turn up for work. Last thing you want to do is turn up and go, oh no, But you don't come across too smart alecky. You're right. In terms of coming on board, especially sometimes when the new hire coming on board, when you are coming from a bigger company or maybe from the number one company to join the number two company in the market. And then you start going like, in my old company, we used to do it this way. Oh, this one should be done this way because, in my old company, then it's like, okay, enough with your old company. You're in your new company now.
why aren't you still there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then so they rub people the wrong way, and they come across as being too smart, too clever. So either you criticize, oh, this one shouldn't be done this way, that one should be done this way, or you start criticizing not just the processes but even the people. Why is this person? And it's too early to do it. So number one is don't act too smart don't come across as being too smart or too clever when you come on board. Just sit down, make friends with everyone, listen, observe, and if there are things that need to be changed, you don't have to let everyone know on day one that their system is not optimal or the system sucks. So you just have to be very mindful of what you say.
Okay,
Angel?
so like you say don't behave badly on the first couple of weeks. Don't come in acting too smart or too I know it all kind of thing. So when is the right time to actually reveal your actual personality? Because it sounds like we go in and we pretend to be someone else. We pretend to be the goody two shoes. We pretend to listen. We pretend to like everybody and learn and everything. When can we reveal who we are?
And that's a good question, because do we ever reveal who we really, really are on the job anyway? You worry, we just put on a pretense. Sometimes you don't work with people you don't like, and you're still got to pretend that you like them. And so I'm not saying go out and be a hypocrite, but sometimes you just need to temper your own responses, and you just need to be very guarded and very careful. So, I mean, you can slowly loosen up after a while, I guess, when you've gained enough credibility with the team, when you gain enough trust, when they gotten to know you better, and after you've got a few good wins, projects, maybe a couple of months down the road, I guess, then you maybe can start loosening up, be a bit more of yourself. But in the first few months, I would actually say just be on your super best behavior. And don't rock the boat. And one of the things I really think would be really annoying for a new hire coming on board is to give unsolicited advice.
Okay.
This job you should do, and telling you how to do your job. Because in my previous company, it's like, it's like, my previous company, and it's annoying, and it's like, so it all, is it, kind of thing. So you don't want to encourage what we call, as I was saying earlier, organ rejection, by saying, if you so in love with your previous company, then what are you doing? What are you doing here? Just stay there. So don't be too smart alecky too early in the game, and don't act too clever.
But Adrian, when we come back, I want to talk about the more introvert person who is joining a new company.
Okay.
Because I think that is a problem for a lot of Singaporeans.
All right, here's Fleetwood Mac right now with Everywhere on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3. Good morning.
So Adrian, we've got the introvert person who's changing jobs. And you're saying that you need to take time to learn the systems and to basically gel. What can I do to make sure I gel right? How does the introvert sort of fit in? How does he help that process?
Take the boss out for lunch.
Yeah, suck up as much as you can.
Take the boss out.
All your supervisors.
Technically, traditionally, it's always usually on the first day. It's either a team lunch to introduce you, to welcome you to the team, or maybe the boss brings you out for lunch. Traditionally, on the first day of the job, there's a welcome lunch involved. Traditionally, I don't know about now with COVID measures and everything, but traditionally, there usually is, and it's a great chance to get to know people in a more relaxed setting. But even after the first week in, I actually would encourage everyone, whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, to go and never lunch alone. Just go out, network, pull someone, just go out and just have a lunch, get to know someone, ask him questions. And it's not necessarily work-related questions, but just ask, how about you? How many kids you have and things like that.
It's interesting.
But there's
because,
some people. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, it's interesting because our company, right? Before COVID, we always brought lunch back to the office. So lunch was always communal. So the whole company sits down to lunch.
Wait, which
I think
company
that's
is
great.
this?
Communal
This is my
is
company.
great.
My company.
Oh, your company.
Yeah.
It's
So it was
current
always
company,
it was always communal, and it was never about work. It's what Korean drama are you watching? What's happening here? What's happening there?
Chit-chat, yeah.
Yeah. So there was this
Small talk.
Yeah, small talk. So there was this definite break from work. It was a definite break.
That would be great for people who are super, super introverted. But I can imagine the ones that really cannot make friends, right? The ones that are so, so shy. How do they ask someone out for lunch, or and would that be then the responsibility of the older staff at the company to kind of take this person under their wings and make them feel welcome, like looking at it from the opposite end of the spectrum.
Let the girls do it. The girls in the workplace.
Yeah.
You know why? Because girls like shy guys. So I'm
is that
talking
true?
about if they are like shy guys,
Assuming, yeah.
the girls can take care of them. Any shy girls,
What?
Yeah, but you see-
leave it to the guys.
Yeah, but you see, if girls like shy guys, then Sean's got no hope already. This
Yeah.
guy is not shy at all.
That's why he's not attached.
Sometimes on Thursdays I'm a bit shy.
No, but that's
That's why-
very interesting.
haven't I taught you anything, Sean?
No, that's
just
why.
just act
Acting
shy.
only, yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. Does
Can
it?
win Golden Horse or what?
It's very interesting. Does that lie with the new person, or does it lie with the people who've already been there? That
already
initiative
there,
to start the communication.
Depends if they like you. If they don't like you, they don't care. Right?
But you're talking first,
That's
second
true as
day.
well, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they hear things about you already, they don't like you. They see your face also, they don't like you.
That's
They
true.
see your face, they don't like you.
Yeah, it's like, this fella
It
don't like
depends
me.
what position you're
Yeah,
coming in
Sean's
on,
right.
right? Did you take over a position of someone who was super well liked, and then now you've got this
true.
new person that they're like, oh my goodness, you're the one that
replaced.
is responsible for this other person leaving and stuff like that.
And I guess it also depends whether you're coming in as a manager or whether you're coming in as a staff. If you're coming as a manager, then you might want to take initiative to ask the people out, your team members out for lunch. Initially as a group, then individually after one by one, just to get to know each other better. But the whole point is, don't waste that networking opportunity, that lunch or even the afternoon tea or coffee, just to grab the person, just chat, to get to know your teammates better. And just to build that relationship, build that trust, because ultimately, if you want to reduce the risk of organ rejection, you have to be able to fit in, you have to be likable, you have to be liked, and you want to be able to be seen as being able to bring value to the team as well. I mean, if you come in and just be a jerk, around, I'm the boss, listen to me kind of thing, it can be out very soon.
Right. I don't know. Mentioning organs, I'm just thinking about livers, like all the livers gathering together at a pub.
All the livers gathering together. The kidney is standing outside going, I'm not part of this.
Hey guys, let me in, guys. Guys.
Poor thing.
I feel sorry for the poor kidney now.
So, Adrian, what about the one person that wants to come in and switch everything around? Clearly
Ralph
they were
Rangnick.
hired. Clearly,
Yeah.
they were hired to make some changes, or clearly they were hired because they have some special talent, or they're suitable for the job. But how quickly should changes be made, or how slowly should changes be made,
And that's an
if any?
interesting question. That's a very interesting question because sometimes you're right. You're brought in because on the concept of a new broom sweeps clean, right? And you want to come. You're going to make changes. I would actually recommend not to make changes too soon or at one go. I mean, on the first day you come in, and second day you're saying, "I want to do this," or sometimes you're not even brought in to make changes, but you just see glaring gaps, huge improvements that can be done. Don't go in on the first week and start, I want to implement this change, because you don't know the historical relevance of the system, because you're risking. Imagine if it was something that the CEO put in just 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And you come in and you say, what's you're telling people like, oh, I know better than the CEO. So don't come in to make too big sweeping changes at one go. I would actually recommend understand the context. Even if you were brought in to make changes, if you come in and you start making too many changes at one go, people are not going to like you, because humans do not like change.
Yeah.
And especially if it
Yeah,
involves
that's
changing
true.
the way of working. We've been doing this for the longest time, and you're coming in. Why are you making these changes? Because in my old company,
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, the whole,
Stop comparing.
the whole,
Stop comparing. Mm.
yeah. See, so don't be too adventurous.
I don't know. Tell me if I'm right, Adrian. I think if someone is brought into a company to institute change, it falls with the management to brief that team or brief that department that this is what this person has been
Prior
brought in
to.
to do. That's step one. Step number two, before you institute these teams, you should have a meeting with that team, a meeting with that department, and say, these are the things that I've been brought in to change. This is the plan that I have. Guys, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
All this done before you actually put the change into place. Am I right?
Yeah, and it's part of change management, proper change management process to do that. Proper, but sometimes you just get too adventurous, and sometimes it's okay to make that change because you're going to make the change. But sometimes people get too adventurous; they make 3 changes at one go, and then the whole system gets unstable, and then when things happen, they're going to point a finger back at you. Oh, but you said this change, and then you get into trouble. See? So,
But
No
FD
proper
is also
planning.
coming from like a professional adult angle. Not many people behave like FD. Do you know what I mean? He's got this whole like, okay, we need to do this step by step. Everything has a process and all that. Some people just come in and they just, pull the tablecloth from under all the dishes and just like expect everything to fall back into place.
True.
And Angel's correct, because sometimes there are politics behind it. So the CEO may have brought you in for the change, but you may be you may be C-2, but the C-1, which is your boss, who's not the CEO, your boss reports to the CEO. He might be unhappy that you were brought in because he takes it as an assault, as an insult to himself. You mean I can't do the change? Why do you bring someone else come in? And then you come in, and then so even though the whole company direction may be let's evolve, let's change, and you're brought in to make the change, there might be politics behind it as well. So so just be careful over whose toes you might step on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of politics,
It's
it's
rampant.
something that everybody tries to avoid. I mean, when I first joined a corporation almost two and a bit years ago, I told myself the first thing is keep arm's length and don't get involved in politics. Because this was a job that I was going to go into every day, which I hadn't done in a long time, like 10 years. And I had to know how to behave. I had to know what to say, not get too close to anyone and stuff like that. What is your thought on like political, like office politics and taking sides and stuff like that?
Okay, we asked on air again.
Good
Okay,
question. I like that.
Good one.
Okay, here we
Standing
go.
by in 3, 2.
OneFM 91.3 traffic.
Usual delays across the expressways. We know that for sure. Hopefully, I can't see from where I am now. Hopefully, it's not raining out there at this point. because that will just make the delays even worse.
We need some windows.
Yeah, can we drill a hole in the wall, somebody, please? Usual delays across the expressways. Jurong West Avenue 2, still a problem. An accident there. This is towards Corporation Road after the PIE. Avoid the left lane. Please stay within the speed limit. Make sure you have everyone in the car buckled up. Drive safely today.
1FM 91.3, you're tuned into The Big Show and The Big Show TV. And our guest for this morning is the CEO and founder at careeragility.org. We're so happy to have him join us every Thursday, Adrian Chu. And we're talking about, 5 things you shouldn't do at your new workplace. And Angel on The Big Show TV brought up this very awesome question, I feel. And I think it is this that Angel is about to bring up right now that makes life at the workplace really unpleasant for many people sometimes.
Absolutely.
Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Angel.
Yeah, so when I started on radio about 2.5 years ago, the first thing I told myself is don't get involved in office politics. Don't get too close to people because it is still a corporate workspace. It is still a professional job. Although our job involves being dressed very casually and everyone's kind of, hey bro, hey sister, how are you, and stuff like that, it still is an office. So what are your thoughts on like office politics and like taking sides and even, getting involved in stuff like that?
Yeah, ideally, the best way is still not to get involved in office politics. But as Marlon Brando says, sometimes you just get dragged right back in, right? So, like in The Godfather, I see. So sometimes you just get dragged in, accidentally or on purpose sometimes. So, the general of thumb is don't get involved in office politics, and you have to be very conscious sometimes not to be involved, because sometimes you're just pulled in. And especially as a new joiner, okay, you don't know the history, you don't know the stories behind it, so you don't want to place bets too early, even if you have to place bets, because you never know who you're betting on. Sometimes some people are just out to sabotage you, or not you, but your boss. Okay, so I once had this friend of mine who joined a new company, and during the orientation, he met all the other departments, and one of the department heads said, "Hey, I understand you're very good at taxation because you used to do taxation in 2 jobs ago. I have a huge project. Would you like to join?" And he said, "Okay, sure," thinking he'll be helpful, right? And later on, he discovered that actually that's his boss was not happy because the boss doesn't like that department head.
Oh.
And he said, "Why are you volunteering my time? I'm paying for you. Why are you volunteering your time to help my competitor?" And then it got ugly and messy. You see, so be very mindful of all the possible and potential political minefields, and just try to avoid it.
But let's be honest, Adrian, we all know that in the real world, that's really, really hard. I'm a new guy coming into a company. I'm going to want to make
help.
friends. I'm going to want to do it. And I can't avoid the politics. It's so rampant these days. You can't avoid it.
And you want to please everyone, right?
Yeah.
Or seem like you want to
Because
please
you're
everyone.
new.
Yeah.
So no, it'll be good to just say, I'm happy to help. Let me clear with the boss. Let me settle in first and everything. Once everything's settled in, I'll be happy to help. If you need my help. After that, you just run back and you clear with the boss. Always remember who your boss is. Because ultimately he's the one who pays your bill. You want to find out what he needs to get done. And last thing you want to do is if you fail at your job because you're helping another boss, another department, that gets very upsetting very quickly.
And also when it comes to bosses, more often than not, people have more than one boss. Right?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
when it comes to something like that, is it hierarchy? Do you go straight to the top, or do you go to your immediate boss, or who do you clear it up with?
And sometimes what we call a matrix reporting, where you have 2 bosses. If you're a finance director, you have to report to the global CFO as well as the Asia Pacific MD. So sometimes you do have 2 bosses, and I think that you have to just learn how to manage both of them and just be clear and inform both sides as to what's happening. Or if it's a huge project coming on, you need to get blessings from both. And sometimes it gets very complicated. And that's why you have to be very careful. And one of the other things you have to be very mindful of when you first join a company is also the accidental water cooler talk, which sometimes you're drawn into, and they ask you questions like, so after 2 weeks here, what do you think of the system? And if you say, and then you say, well, there are areas that can be improved, and then innocuous statement, and then someone's going to tell the boss, hey, Adrian thinks this system is screwed up, man. Because there are a lot of areas that need to be improved. And it's like, but I didn't say that, but it's too late already. So, so general rule of thumb, be nice. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Just be positive. Just be mindful of what you say when you join a new organization, because you never know what could be accidentally or deliberately misinterpreted. So just be Mr. Nice Guy throughout the whole period. Just be Mr. Nice Guy.
You know, Adrian, we have been talking about the employee coming in, When the next question I'm going to ask you when we come back is, what about the bosses? Okay, I'm going to look at this from the boss's perspective.
All right now here's Taylor Swift with Style on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3.
So here's where I need you, Adrian, this is where I need you to be really, really honest. What are some bosses doing that's wrong when they have new people join the company? What are they forgetting to do, or what are they doing wrong? How can the boss make that transition better?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest mistakes is to leave them on their own, thinking they'll fit in and they'll figure themselves out, and not giving them direction, not giving them the clarity, and also sometimes not giving them the authority to get things done. The boss comes, you come in, and then the boss doesn't even. There's a welcome lunch, and the boss doesn't even appear, even though he's got something else not that important. I got a golf game with my buddies, and then just don't turn up. Not giving him face, you're sending a wrong signal to the team that this guy doesn't matter. So I've seen that happen before, and a lot of times there's a story behind it, because the boss was not happy that this person was brought in, because the person was brought in because of the boss's boss. So dynamic
again,
once again, right? So I think bosses have to give an endorsement, the authority, even if it has to be seen, and the bosses have to do very regular check-ins, because it's bad for the company if the person joins and then he resigns after 1 month, or if he's fired after 1 month, and then it's just disruptive to the boss's operations as well. So it's usually in everyone's interest to come in and be successful. So if the boss just thinks, okay, I'll leave him on his own to do sink or swim. If the guy is a fighter and survivor, it's probably okay. But if he's not, you're setting him up for failure. That's tough.
Poor thing. Poor guy.
Do you think there are many fighters out there, as in like, or do you think there are many individuals
Sinkers?
who will just sink if they're not looked after?
The chances of sinking is a lot higher, if you ask me, when you're joining a new organization, no matter what, especially when organ rejection starts to set in already. When you're not getting the buy-in from your other colleagues, they're thinking, hey, this guy is a joke, or this guy, he's trying to bite off more than he can chew, he's going to sink, I do not want to be associated with him.
Would this be a time that individual who is new to the company goes to HR and says, my life is not being made easy? If, the rest of the older sort of staff are making it difficult for the newcomer?
Well, report to HR.
It's
Well,
a good question.
That's
It's a
what
good
HR
question.
is there for, isn't it? I mean, I've never, knock on
like-
wood, had to go to HR, but I mean, isn't that what human resources, isn't that what they're for?
It's like, it's the adult equivalent of,
Or
I
are
go
there
tell
politics
teacher,
there as well? No, but are there
go to
politics
teacher.
there as well within
teacher.
human resources? No, but it's true though. If you're unhappy with
Yeah,
something, someone's got to listen to you, right?
I think talk to the boss first. I'll be pissed off if I was the boss and you don't talk to me, you go to HR. It's like, why you won't tell.
But what if you go to
teacher.
HR and you say, you want this kept in confidence? You're just informing them about it, like you're whistleblowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. HR also has office politics, right? Don't they have like best friends in administration and accounting and stuff like that, whom you may not like and whom you're complaining about? And I'm just trying to think. Is HR there to keep your story confident?
I think it's okay to, if you want to get a different perspective, you can talk to HR, the person whom you trust in HR, maybe the person who hired you in, who facilitate the process. So you have a certain degree of trust. So you can ask them for their opinion. I mean, you don't go there to complain, I guess. You go there, you ask them for their opinion. Is this always how it's being done?
What do you think?
Why does what's the dynamics between my boss and individual B from the other department? Is there a history which I need to know about to be successful in this job? Is there a history? Is there past conflicts? So I think it's okay to get additional information, but don't go to HR as a complaint. My boss this, my department that, or my process is this, my colleagues are those. If you get a neutral perspective, I think that's okay.
So ask for their opinion instead of complaining. Make them feel important.
No one likes a whiner. No one likes a complainer, I guess.
That's true, yeah. Okay.
But you have to be very mindful. I mean, really, I have this constant fear about trusting people too much in terms of any organization when I go. So I do not know who I can trust, who I can't trust. So I'm exercising a lot of caution here, and I'm erring the side of caution when I advise our listeners. When you join a new company, be nice, listen, fit in nicely, be the good guy and everything. But just be mindful on the dynamics, because you haven't actually seen the dynamics yet. You do not know the backstories. You do not know their origin stories. Who likes who got made by whom, and who. So you just have to be mindful. Keep your eyes open. Observe the cues. And just be.
So this is where
careful.
Glenn's motto would come in again, right? Glenn, what was it about being brave?
Yeah, be brave, but don't die.
Works for every situation, it seems.
It's interesting. One of our listeners came onto Facebook and said, you've got to realize that really in the working world, nothing is kept in confidence.
That's true.
Right?
Do you think that's true?
Yeah.
I think it's best to assume that.
Yeah.
So just be mindful, especially even in HR. It's like so you have to be very, very mindful. But I think you just have to be a good judge of character sometimes, and just be street smart about it. And I don't know, and there's a difference between being street smart and cynical. My wife tells me I'm very cynical, but I'm saying, no, I'm being street smart. But she says, no, you're being very cynical. Everything is always what's the reason why this person is doing this, or But I think it's over the years, as you get older, you get wiser, and you just want to get a better picture about things. But so be street smart, be cynical if you have to, but be street smart.
I like what you said about knowing who to trust, though, because it is usually the people that you least expect that you can't trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's usually those ones.
Yeah, they're usually the ones that let you down in the end.
Yeah.
So and I've had this other individual I know. On his first day at work, a colleague comes up to him and whispers to him, "Don't trust anyone here."
That'll mess someone up right away.
I love that.
Seriously? Wow, it's like
a movie.
Yeah, it's like a movie, right? It's like, don't
Fantastic.
trust anyone here.
Run far away.
And after that, everyone he meets, right, he's looking at the person going like, I can't trust this guy. I can't trust this guy.
It's such an intro to a bad movie, right? It's like not a good start also.
It is.
Trust no one. Oh my goodness.
Like,
How do you live like that?
How do you live like that, right? So that's a bad sign in the organization. Or maybe you don't trust that guy or maybe you do trust him because he's sharing that with you.
Maybe
I don't
you
know.
do. Yeah,
It's
that's the thing.
Your mind just goes all over the place. So maybe it's out to sabotage you. But anyway, just you got to be smart, and that's why when you the risk, as I said earlier on in this conversation, the risk of organ rejection is always very high at the front end of the new job you're joining. So you have to be very careful, very mindful that you don't facilitate organ rejection. I mean, the risk is already there. You don't expedite, you don't facilitate that by doing things that could piss people off.
Right.
Okay.
So
Any final words?
Well, I think
One more.
okay.
Okay.
We'll wrap up on air, but we still got like 1 minute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we still got 1 minute before we go on air.
Before we go on air, because I look at it sometimes when people join my company. You see how hard it is for some people to fit in, and usually what we do is we go to the longer serving employees and we go, look, this is a new guy. Just spend a minute. Remember when you were in their shoes and the problems you faced. Now, go help this guy fit in.
Again, you're a very different boss, though. You're
No,
like
then
the
that-
adult boss, professional adult boss.
Then that employee that FD just said all that to will go to the new guy and say, "Don't trust anyone."
Don't trust FD. Just to mess with his head.
Yeah, just the rest of the guys.
But what would you do though to help the person? Okay, we'll go on.
3 seconds.
Okay.
2, 1.
1FM 91.3 traffic.
Usual delays across the expressways. Look out, remember, for the area around Jurong West Avenue 2 towards Corporation Road. We have an accident after the PIE. Avoid the left lane. Please stay within the speed limit. Make sure you've got everyone in your car buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
1FM 91.3, we're back on The Big Show and The Big Show TV with the CEO and founder at careeragility.org, Adrian Chu.
Okay, so Glenn was asking me how I make them fit in. The idea behind this is, I think a lot of our fitting in boils down to that lunch I was talking about earlier, that communal lunch that we have in the office, where people shoot the breeze and we talk about our wives and our kids and which bar has great gin and tonics and whatever else, which is usually my topic of conversation. But the reason why I get the more established people to help the newer ones sort of mold in is because as a boss, I firmly believe that these the older and more established people have a much better feel of what's happening on the ground. They deal with clients day after day after day after day. They're in the client's face and the client's in their face more than me.
Okay.
So they understand some of the problems. They understand where, and I'll admit it, even the systems that we have put in place as management has been tweaked by the staff. And even we don't know about it. It's tweaked to make their life better, to make their life easier. And these are little tweaks that we just let go because it's working. I'm not going to break something. I'm not going to fix something that ain't broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's these little things that they can pass on to these new people. And by passing on, then it's almost like welcoming.
Okay.
I'm passing you on these tips and tricks, and that's very welcoming to a new staff. And rather than coming from the boss, I want it coming from someone you're going to be working with 24/7.
A peer, yeah.
So that's how I would do it.
Okay.
But a bit difficult if you're in a very, very large corporation, I would imagine. It might be a bit more difficult.
I think appointing a buddy would be a great idea, like what you're doing. So
Buddy
it's more like a
system,
buddy
yeah.
system, right? Yeah. So I think that
It's kind of like a
helps
buddy.
as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like a buddy
Yeah.
system.
Buddy system. Oh, that reminds me of the
I
army.
like
man.
that.
Well,
Right?
we
Oh,
do it
even
everywhere.
school.
No, we do it everywhere. We do it in primary school.
Yeah.
You do it in the army.
Yeah.
So why don't you do it at work?
I think that's a great thing.
It's
to
a system that
incorporate.
Singaporeans are used to. Why don't we
Yeah.
employ this at work?
Because it'll be a me and you versus the world situation.
And what and what happens with that? Your productivity goes through the roof. Because it's two people, me and you against the world. We're going to chung. We're going to make this happen.
Really, Adrian? You're the
that's true. I
career
mean,
expert.
I think it's a good idea to have a buddy system. I think it does help, But what we're saying today, is that if you're joining a new company, there are lots of pitfalls that you're just going to be mindful of. You're trying to manage a good impression. You're trying to get work done all at the same time, and you don't know where the minefields are. So the whole idea, or your whole strategy and objective when you join a new company is A, to fit in, B, to understand the business model, understand the relationships going on. Don't get too adventurous to try too many things at one go, and just make sure that you don't step on the wrong toes. Because I remember Angel has one of her favorite things about stepping on toes.
Yes, be careful of the toes you step on today because they'll be attached to the knees that hold up the thighs, that hold up the butt that you may have to kiss tomorrow.
My favorite sayings.
I think that's a topic for another day,
But-
should we kiss butt?
And
we
how
be
to do it
kissing
properly.
butt?
Yes.
Okay,
how
Adrian,
to
we've got
kiss
your
butt
topic for next week.
How to kiss butt without looking like you are kissing butt.
Yes. And what shade of lipstick should you use?
So sexist you are, Sean. I think only ladies, right? Okay, anyway.
I also use.
Hey, did he hear what Sean just said?
Yeah.
Yes.
You put on lipstick?
When I'm in costume, sure.
Hey, he does all the time. Have you
Yeah.
seen his nails?
I'm an
lately?
entertainer that way.
I know
There
you
you
paint your
go.
nails, but I never knew you put
Lip
on
gloss lah,
lipstick.
lip gloss lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a real man should not be afraid to do things
We
like
created
that.
makeup
There you go.
anyway, so
Okay.
End
I'm
of
a
the day.
fake man
well.
then. Okay, so
End of the day, whatever makes you stand out, dude.
That's
Whatever
true.
makes you stand
Yeah,
out.
be you. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Too true.
okay.
All right.
So wait, Adrian has
Thanks
something.
so much, Adrian. Yeah, do you have
Yeah, so
something?
thanks.
Final word to say?
So think hard about the strategy about moving in a new organization, but just enjoy yourself and don't overthink it as well. But meantime, for our listeners now, just enjoy the cool Thursday morning, and we're only about 24 days away from Christmas, so
Yeah,
Merry
man.
Christmas to everybody, man. Christmas
Merry
to everybody.
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Merry
so
Christmas.
fast.
Adrian,
Have a great weekend.
is it raining where you're at?
It just stopped raining, so great. I don't have to water my
wow.
plants. Yeah, save water.
Save water.
But it's a nice
Stay
cool day,
positive.
and yeah, have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.
All right, you
Take
too.
care. Thanks,
Take care.
Adrian.
All right.
Okay.
Wow.
We've been speaking to Adrian Chu, CEO and founder at careeragility.org. If you've got anything you need help on career-wise, you can get in touch with him. All right. Coming up very soon, exclusively on The Big Show TV, Sean Chua, Asia's Got Talent finalist. Meantime, here's Cheap Trick with The Flame on 1FM 91.3.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think I talk to a lot of people and I keep reminding them, I think a lot of them, it does boil down to the bosses making the journey easier for someone who's joining.
It is a trickle-down effect, yeah,
It's a
for
trickle
sure.
down.
We must be like Sean. Sean is his own boss.
Yeah.
There you go. Good morning, Sean.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, Angel is
All right.
all the way in Sydney and still on the show.
Yeah.
Spoil market, we call this one.
Spoil market,
Now the bosses will expect that from all of us,
That's why.
If we go away.
Just like when I had COVID as well, I was on the show.
Okay, don't push
Okay
it.
lah, enough,
Don't
right?
push it. Okay.
Employee of the month.
Yeah, I mean, that's a real spoil
Right.
market.
Yeah, you can just see this person calling in today going, I'm sick. Y'all don't listen to The Big Show on 1FM. Angel had COVID. No, she was on the show. Huh? How come you can't work?
How come all the other breakfast shows, a little bit only MC.
Right?
Little
3
bit
weeks
only.
off.
It's like 3 weeks off.
Don't you guys have leave coming up? Yeah, 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's leave. It's
Yeah,
leave.
we're not spoiling it for you.
Staying
I will
away
land the
from this
show.
place completely.
Okay, Sean, what have you got for us today?
Okay, so today I'll give you as an option. Do you want to see
Okay.
a card trick
Yes.
or a rope trick?
Oh,
Yes.
both.
To everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, let's do both.
I
Yes.
want it all.
That's true. You ask us
Then
a
we will
question,
s-
you're asking for both.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with a card trick.
Okay.
Okay, hey, I can't
Okay.
see. Lah.
But
Oh, okay.
Never mind. No, don't. Okay.
No, it's not you, Sean. It's
You got it?
Glenn.
Yes, okay.
Ah,
You're good, you're good.
okay, I'm good. Right, thanks.
Okay,
Haven't done
okay.
anything and I'm good.
I'm
Right,
gonna
but
be
because-
out of frame now. Okay, I need to watch this very closely. Okay.
You go close to
Okay.
FD lah.
Yeah.
Y'all can.
Yeah, both of you
Okay,
can
but
sit
because
together
this
and
is the
get
big
nice
show,
and
right?
cozy.
Because this is the big
Yes.
show, we're not going to use a normal deck of cards. We shall use a big one.
Oh, nice. I like it.
I like it. Yeah, good.
Okay, and tell you what, we'll do a bit of magic wand. Watch
Oh.
the magic move.
Oh.
Okay, done.
Oh, what happened?
What happened? Because of that magic move, I have changed the cards into rope.
Card trick and a rope trick.
So that's a card trick and a rope trick. Is it two things in one?
Yeah. And wait, not just one piece of rope,
Oh.
but two pieces of rope.
Oh, wow. Okay, hey.
Okay, that's it for today.
Hey! Next week, don't need to come back already.
Okay, so just keep your eyes on the ropes, okay? So this is the long rope.
Huh?
Yeah,
No.
which makes this the
Short rope.
longer
The longer
rope.
Longer rope.
Y'all are slow, man, today.
Yeah. Now the thing is, the thing about rope, okay? Rope, the only properties you have to know about rope is that rope always has two ends and a middle. Okay?
Okay.
Two ends and a middle, that's what makes it a piece of rope. Now if I put them middle to middle, you can see the difference, right? In the length.
Yes.
But if I put the ends together, this end and this end together, now they kind of look like the same length, right?
Yep, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
bit.
But especially if I do this,
Oh, wow.
now you see they are two pieces of rope that are the same length.
Wow.
Do you do that with
Oh,
noodles
I
or
like
not?
that.
Yeah, which is what I was going to say. You look like that guy at Hai Di Lao.
Yeah, that fella, right? That guy.
Yeah, maybe that fella you make 2 noodles come out one time. Power.
Okay, but I'll do this again. Now I will take these 2 pieces of rope and turn them into one long piece.
No
Okay?
way.
Okay.
One long piece of rope. All I do is this,
There.
and there we go. One long piece of rope.
Sambal. You.
Get out of
Okay.
Okay, but I know what you're thinking. It's not really one long piece because there's a knot, right? There's a
Yeah,
knot there.
yeah.
Okay, but what if the knot is not there? You know, it's there.
Ayo.
here. Excuse me?
Hey.
Look at that.
Or the knot is not there and it's there.
Hey,
Oh,
Or what if the knot is completely not there?
the rope. Oh my God.
hey.
It's a smaller.
And then we actually have one piece of rope.
Wow.
Nicely
Nice.
done.
You know,
Now
we
I'll
are
do that
reacting-
again.
We are reacting like a bunch of kids, at a magic show. You remember
should.
how
That's
when
right.
we when we were young?
Yeah, you should. You should.
Isn't-
That's how
that's
magic
what
is.
magic's all about.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
point.
That's what magic's all about.
But the way
Yeah.
FD was
I love
reacting,
it.
Glenn
it's
is
like
not
he was
enjoying
6
it.
years old.
I love it because I am 6 whenever I'm
love
at a
it. I
magic
love
show.
it too.
Yeah, have to. Be.
Okay.
But I was just going,
So-
yeah. Okay.
In case you guys missed that little knot thing, right? That whole knot thing. I'll do it again, but this time I will make a bigger knot, okay? A much bigger knot that you can see, and I'm not going to pull it tight. Okay?
Okay.
So,
No,
the
you
knot
can't
is
move it.
there. Yes, I still can.
No, you can't. Oh, come on.
Yes. And you know what?
You can't take
Pull
it
it
out.
out completely.
Oh, get out of here.
Is that rope or noodles?
That's no longer rope because remember, rope has a property. That's 2 ends and a
ends.
middle.
And a
This
middle.
is just the middle, so it's not a piece of rope anymore.
I guess it would be possible if his rope was made of flour.
That's why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You and your noodles. Is that what you're having for lunch now?
Yeah, boy, one.
I don't know
No
about him.
carbs. No carbs. I had carbs
No
yesterday
I'm having noodles for
because
lunch.
I had no choice.
Or maybe donuts. Maybe donuts.
Oh, donuts.
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 Yep. Now I'll do this one last time because I started off with one piece of rope, one long piece of rope, right? And then now I've got a
Yeah.
piece of rope and a donut right there. So I'm going to put the donut on the piece of rope and try to end off with one
A piece of rope.
Oh, come
Wow.
on.
Nicely done.
Well done.
And that's your card trick / rope trick magic.
Wow, that's really good.
That's
I
good.
feel
That's,
like you
that's
need to end
super.
the session with like balloons for us.
Balloons.
Because we're all
I
6-year-olds.
will
Oh,
do
let's
that
get
next
back
week.
balloons
I will do
Next
that
week,
next week.
balloons.
We need balloon animals or something.
Okay, next week.
Okay, cute,
Awesome.
cute, very nice.
That's
Awesome,
really good
John.
stuff.
Really good.
That's really good stuff.
You can hire him for your kids'
Yeah.
birthdays.
Yeah, there
That
you
would
go.
be cool.
Sean
That
Paul.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sean
I'll bring
Beaming on
Annalyn.
Instagram. Oh, Annalyn. Oh, yeah. How is she?
Yeah, how's
She's
that?
okay. She's okay. She's been chilling out. Studying from home, school
Oh,
from
right.
home.
Studying
School
from
from home. Yeah.
HBL, home-based learning. That's what it's
Home
called.
based.
Yeah, home-based learning.
yeah,
That's what it's called.
You're a
That's what it's
terrible
called.
parent. You don't even know what it's called. Yeah, it's home-based.
I'm not.
He never
I'm not a
helps.
parent.
He's a guardian.
You guys,
That's
you're a
true,
terrible
yeah.
guardian.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much, Sean.
Thanks,
No
John.
problem, you guys. You're welcome, and I will have a good weekend.
Yep.
I'll see you guys next week.
Awesome.
You too.
See you next
Take
week.
care, mate.
Bye,
Take care.
Bye.
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 All right, folks.
Wow.
Share the video.
See ya.